Hello, everyone. It's Make a Move Mike from Realty Executives Dylan. I'm here with Andy Cruz, as always, of Mortgage Heroes. Today, we're going to be just discussing how new listings are outpacing pending home sales.
So you might notice we're actually at Mike's lovely home this week. Really cool announcement for us is at the office we have construction going on because we are building a dedicated recording room for conversations just like this. That started literally this week. So today you get Andy and Mike talking to you from the home, and we're going to talk about homes today. So that's why it looks a little bit different, but take it away, Mike.
Yeah. So again, we're going to be discussing how new listings are currently outpacing pending home sales. But before we get into that, I just want to make sure I let you guys know in the near future I'm going to be posting more frequently, more updates on the housing market so that you can make a more informed decision on whether you should be buying or selling a home. As we take into account that new listings are outpacing pending home sales, I've read reports that home prices nationwide, including distressed sales, have increased year over year as of June 1st, about 15.4% on average.
Yeah.
Now that's pretty crazy, right? Because normally it's about 3 to 5% when in a normal market.
Yeah, over a long period of time, that's
yes.
kind of like the average, right? We use that number a lot,
Exactly.
and it changes based on the area. So like more top 100 metro cities might have a higher degree than that,
Yes.
but in general, 3 to 5 is kind of like our talking point.
Exactly.
But that's crazy. The 15?
15, that's 3 to 5 percent depending on where you're living at. So with that being said, I mean, and just month over month, it's about 2.3%. So that's almost
that's almost getting an annual return in a month, but every month.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's just the way things have been
going.
That
is how it's been. I mean, on the backside of things, that's how it's been looking.
Yeah.
When you're taking people looking at homes and we're doing those loans, we're like, this place was not this price last year.
Exactly.
Yeah, or last month.
Yeah. I know some people that are kicking themselves in the shins because they didn't sell or they didn't buy at a certain time. So
that's right.
So you gotta always make that decision yourself when it's right time for you.
That's right.
But to speak about San Diego, though, San Diego had the second highest gain year over year within the nation at 18.8%.
Second only to Phoenix.
Exactly. Second only to Phoenix. And I can't remember what Phoenix, but I want to say it's close to 20%.
And they've been, I report this out to our Mortgage Heroes newsletter that I do every week. I touch on this one when that home price index report comes out.
Yes.
And it's been that way we've been number 2 for almost an entire year at this point.
Yes.
But it's always been outpaced by Phoenix, but not by a lot, which is crazy because in this kind of environment, you think, so many people are retiring to Arizona, they're moving to Arizona, and Scottsdale, and obviously Phoenix, but it's San Diego number 2, San Diego number 2, San Diego number 2. It's been that way month over month for almost an entire year now.
Yeah, so if you do own a home here, that's great for you. I'm excited. You got to be patting yourself on the back right now after hearing that. But on the flip side of that coin, first-time home buyers are sort of, kind of, and they are hitting a wall in many places as the pace of home prices have pretty much outpaced the benefits of the lower borrowing costs with the lower interest rates that we have or been seeing over the past couple of years.
Starting to affect people.
Yes,
the affordability factor isn't there as much as it was even just 6 months ago.
Yeah. And those first-time home buyers are having challenges, creating or having or making sufficient savings for a down payment and closing costs and cash reserves. So that's where we're seeing the problems evolve from.
Right.
Having those challenges with sufficient savings for those three things.
Right.
With that being said, price rises may continue and very well push, prospective buyers out of the market and slow home price growth. But, I don't see any significant price drops with the current inventory levels where they are at now. So
they don't seem to be looming on the horizon like a big storm, trouble's brewing. It does not seem to be panning out that way.
Yeah, and now I know at the beginning of the video I said that new listings are outpacing pending home sales. I believe I read a report that the state of California alone is about 4%, has had a 4% increase in new listings. So what that means for you is that homes are maybe sitting on the market a little bit longer, not too much longer though. Maybe instead of 3 days, maybe 7 to 10.
Yeah.
Instead of getting 20 offers or 15 offers, they're maybe getting 10. And out of those 10, they may be getting 3 or 4 over asking.
Right.
And the rest are probably at or slightly below list price. That's what I'm seeing.
Cycling back out to have to go look again.
Yeah. That's what I'm hearing from my peers in the industry. That's what I'm hearing from mortgage professionals across the board. So just here to spread the good news.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to mention is that will affect us if the gap in new listing inventory is to sign contract widens over a long period of time or a significant period of time due to low buyer demand. Home prices may decrease slightly, and I don't mean a significant drop, just a subtle drop, maybe 2 to 3%.
Yeah, and it doesn't happen overnight too. There's a time element to that where it can become that, but it's not an overnight or over a 1 month even time frame. It's much longer than that. The lead time is longer than that.
Yes. Yeah. And it usually takes us probably a month or maybe a little bit longer than a month to start seeing that. And when you're able to see that, the best is when you're like Andy and I, we're working in the business day in and day out, and we have peers, that we talk to on a daily basis, and we kind of share what we're seeing just to kind of make sure that we stay on top of the market and we aren't blindsided by a sudden shift.
Yeah, and you notice the shift first because it's actually happening in the transactions you're working on. So it's like you can always see what might be coming ahead because you're experiencing the change as it's happening. Not, oh my gosh, it happened. You look back, oh wait, that happened 3 months ago. That's not kind of the experience.
Yeah. So I know we might have said a little bit, or we might have said a lot just now, but there are some solutions to some of these issues or these challenges that we're having, and you might even be able to work out or move forward with some of these solutions that I'm going to suggest. One of those I'm going to mention is something I mentioned in a previous video, and that's house hacking. If you let's say if you're a VA or FHA or even a conventional buyer and you want to buy a brand new place to live, you can buy a home and maybe rent some of those rooms out, or you can buy a duplex and maybe live in one and rent the other unit out, or a triplex or a fourplex, rent the other units out, and then use that income that you're getting from your tenants to pay your mortgage. It may even cover the entire mortgage where you live for free.
It's certainly going to offset the majority of it.
So that's one option that I think can help some people. The other is just maybe, and you might be able to touch on this if this was possible, is just because I've seen it recently with my buyers, they're pooling together their money to purchase a home.
Yes.
And they're using both their incomes to qualify for the property, and once they close on the home, then what they're going to do is they're going to help the other individual in the future with the equity that they build in that home. They're going to pull some of that equity out to help the other individual do the same thing on their personal residence in the future. So those are two solutions / options that may or may not work for you, but I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm certain that there are plenty of others. Just got to brainstorm a little bit more and do some maybe creative financing or some problem solving, and I'm sure we can figure that out.
And we've been seeing people get more creative. And a long time ago, creative used to mean questionable, and that's not what I mean. I mean they're literally being more creative with how to use the money they have and how to use the access. And a lot of it just has to do with being prepared and then having a plan. But it being clear. So, and we've talked about this in multiple videos now. Like have a plan, be coordinated and organized, but be prepared and be ready, and be clear with what it is you're trying to do. So I'm saying clear a lot. Obviously, I'm saying be clear about it. But so it's just a tenet of the market right now. It's just something that's happening. It's just it's a characteristic of what's going on. And if you're just really diehard, I have to be here, I'm gonna move here, I'm gonna live in this neighborhood, or I have to buy in San Diego, like there are ways to get that done. And there are a lot of alternative ways that people are looking to so that they can put their best foot forward.
Yes, and one additional way, additional option I want to say is that I'm seeing cash investors do is they're borrowing money from their 401k or not 401k. Some are doing that as well, but some people are using their IRAs. You can borrow from your IRA to purchase a home. And from what I understand, I've learned a lot over the past couple of weeks is that a lot of people have done that.
Yeah.
So that
Some people don't have another choice.
Yeah. So that can be an option for you.
Yeah, it can be an option if there's cash assets there, or you have something that you can convert to cash. You just have to talk to your tax person, obviously. Yeah. We're not going to give you tax advice.
So that's just a few options, that may be available to you and may work for you and your family. So take that in consideration. And again, we want to thank you guys for being here with us today. If you have any questions, comments, or you would like to meet to discuss more in private, we can meet via Zoom, we can meet in person, or we can have a quick phone conversation. Yep. I can do that, Andy can do that, and we'd be happy to help you. So thank you again for joining us today, and everyone, hope you have a great rest of your weekend.